Many cannabis professionals are considering the idea of starting a cannabis consulting business, which is great. I believe that cannabis is a big enough sandbox and we can all play in it. But be warned, being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. It will be hard and you will experience imposter syndrome, I promise you. So let's dive into the common mistakes and my biggest learning moments over the past 7 years while running my own consulting firm in the cannabis industry. If you don't know me already, hey, I'm Bree. I'm the owner of RMCC, Rocky Mountain Cannabis Consulting, a cannabis compliance and operations consulting firm that operates nationwide. And I'm also the owner of Momentum, where I help other consultants build and launch their new consulting businesses. So one of the main challenges that you will face is feast or famine, which is a situation within your consulting services that may look like you're working 80 hours one week, but then you don't have any services the next week. It's a yo-yo effect, and it can be exhausting and it can be overwhelming when you do not have consistent income. So how do you solve this? It's actually pretty simple. You want to create multiple revenue streams where you don't actually have to do the work, because you will only be able to scale your business and your revenue to the amount of work that you can take on. And if you overdo it, then you're gonna lead to burnout. In worst case scenario, you could also risk your reputation. So creating multiple revenue streams looks like having maybe a direct download of a digital product, creating an online course, and ultimately learning how to scale your offer outside of one-to-one client work and being able to help many clients at one time. Take my compliance operations certification program. This is a 6-month incubator where I help other consultants, compliance managers, CPAs, and even attorneys in a group setting with some one-on-one coaching, which allows me to take on more clients and not risk burnout. And from a business perspective, you need to know your numbers, such as what is your sales close rate? And if this is a new term for you, then let's break this down. So let's say you talk to 4 different prospects in 1 week, and you're attempting to convert those prospects into paying clients. Well, how many of those individuals were they actually converted into paying clients? From there, you can then work backwards and to determine how many conversations you need to have within a week to be able to meet your revenue goals. So for an example, if you want to make, let's say, $5,000 a week, and of that $5,000 a week, maybe you want to sell a retainer package that is $2,500 per retainer package. That means you need to land 2 of those retainer packages every single week to meet your revenue goals. And if you have a 50% sales close rate, then that means that you need to talk to about 4, preferably 5 people every single week to be able to meet that revenue goal. From there, you can then take another step backwards in what's called your sales funnel to determine how do you have more of these types of conversations? How do people find you? What is your process to getting on the phone with you? Once when we figure out what your sales funnel and sales process looks like, we also need to determine how to position your offer and price your offer, whether that's a retainer, SOP package, whether it's some sort of other deliverable, like a done for you, done with you, or done on your own type of offer. And no, do not provide a menu of services. This is just not a good strategy because of what I like to say, a confused buyer does not buy. When you are providing a menu of services, you're actually decreasing your status and decreasing your chances of converting them into a paying client. Because as a consultant, it is your responsibility to identify and diagnose the issue, and then provide the solution with a guaranteed outcome. So on the topic of a guaranteed outcome, what happens if you do not deliver up to the expectations of your client? This is where specific elements within your consulting business are non-negotiables. You must have them. First, do not work out of your personal name. In a horrendous situation where if you were ever to be sued by a client and working out of your personal name, your client could go after all of your personal assets, whether that's your home, your car, your life savings. So instead, you need to register an entity with your Secretary of State within your state and make sure that you are always working out of that entity and not out of your personal name. Second is you need to have a comprehensive client agreement that prepares for the worst case scenario with a very clear and detailed statement of work when those deliverables will be executed and delivered. Even better, ensure an attorney or multiple attorneys have reviewed your agreement. In my Business in a Day service, I provide the exact agreement template that I've used for clients in the cannabis industry for the past 7 years. And that agreement has been reviewed by 3 of the top cannabis attorneys in the nation. And that agreement also needs to address if the project goes out of scope, what are the payment terms, who owns any intellectual property, especially if you're working with other consultants on a product, and most importantly, how to handle disputes, specifically through mediation rather than litigation. And you can learn more about getting your hands on my agreement by clicking here and learning about my business Momentum and how I can help you launch your consulting business through Business in a Day. And finally, a really big piece that's going to protect you and your business is to get errors and omissions business insurance. In a bad situation, where you may have advised improperly for a client project or something just goes wrong, this layer of protection, in this case of a legal dispute, will help you pay for any of those costs. Or if your client got a violation because you advised them improperly, it could also help cover that cost for your client. So if you made it this far and you're feeling overwhelmed or discouraged in launching your consulting business in the cannabis industry, well, I have some good news for you. Just click the link below to schedule a free 1-hour consultation with me so I can help you better understand your current obstacles, your current goals, and how you can meet those goals going forward. I wish you much success in your consulting journey, and I hope to see you on the other side.